Have you ever promised yourself that this time it would be different? That this time you would stay consistent? You would wake up early, eat clean, work hard, and finally become the version of yourself you keep seeing in your mind. But then, life happens. The motivation fades, the fire dies, and discipline feels like dragging a mountain tied to your back. Why does discipline feel like torture? Why does it seem so natural for some people and so impossible for others? The truth is, discipline is not about suffering. It's about programming your mind to stop fighting you and start fighting for you. Today you'll learn why discipline feels so hard and how to reprogram it forever. Lesson 1. You've been lied to about discipline. Most people believe discipline means forcing yourself to do what you hate. They think it's about grinding, pushing, and punishing yourself until you finally reach your goal. That's not discipline. That's self-sabotage disguised as strength. True discipline isn't about pain. It's about power. It's the quiet decision to act, even when your emotions scream no. But here's the secret. Your brain isn't built for discipline. It's built for survival. From the moment you were born, your mind learned one rule: avoid pain, seek comfort. That's how the primitive brain works. So when you try to start a new habit, waking up at 5 a.m., running, writing, studying, your brain doesn't see progress. It sees danger, it sees discomfort. It tells you to stop, to rest, to quit. That's why it feels like discipline is a battle, because it literally is. A battle between your higher self and your comfort-driven mind. But battles can be won. And the moment you understand your enemy, the war gets easier. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You've just been fighting using the wrong weapon and willpower. Willpower fades. Habits rewire. You can't fight your brain forever. You must reprogram it. Reprogramming starts when you stop associating discipline with suffering and start associating it with freedom. Every action you take toward your goals is not punishment. It's liberation from who you used to be. You don't have to be disciplined. You get to be disciplined. Because discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. If you shift your perspective, you shift your destiny. When you see discipline as self-respect, not self-denial, everything changes. So from now on, every time you feel resistance, remind yourself, this isn't pain, this is power being built. Your new life demands a new language. Start speaking the words of strength, not of struggle. Every time you act despite your emotions, you're teaching your mind who's in control. That's real power. That's how warriors are made. And now, it's your turn. Do something uncomfortable today. Not because you have to, but because it's the proof that you're evolving. Push one step further. Don't stop now. You're closer than you think. Lesson 2. The hidden enemy. Dopamine and the comfort trap. Let me tell you the truth about modern life. It's designed to destroy your discipline. Every app, every screen, every scroll is built to hijack your brain's reward system. You're not fighting laziness, you're fighting a billion-dollar dopamine machine. Dopamine is the chemical of desire, and today, it's everywhere. Fast food, social media, constant entertainment. Your brain gets tiny hits of pleasure for doing absolutely nothing, and when everything feels good instantly, hard things feel unbearable. You don't lack motivation. You're overstimulated. Your brain is flooded with cheap rewards, so real progress feels too slow. This is why reading one page feels boring, why a workout feels like torture, why you procrastinate on your dreams, because your mind is addicted to the easy high. The solution? Detox your dopamine. For 1 week, remove the cheap hits. No endless scrolling, no junk dopamine. Replace it with real reward, movement, learning, growth. You'll feel uncomfortable. You'll crave distraction. That's withdrawal, not weakness. But when you push through it, you'll feel something rare, clarity. You'll realize how much of your energy was being stolen by noise. You'll feel your power returning. When you take control of your dopamine, you take control of your destiny. You become immune to distraction. You become unstoppable. So decide now, are you a slave to pleasure or the master of it? You can't reprogram discipline until you silence the false rewards. Train your brain to love what matters, not what's easy. Because easy is the enemy of excellence. Every scroll steals a second. Every distraction delays your dream. But every focused action builds your empire. Start small. 1 focused hour a day. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Your attention is your most valuable weapon. Wield it wisely. Disconnect from noise, reconnect with purpose. You are not addicted to pleasure. You're addicted to escaping your potential. And the cure is discipline. Lesson 3. Reprogramming the mind for effort. Now here's where real transformation begins. Most people try to force discipline through guilt. They say things like, "I must do this," or "I can't fail." But guilt doesn't create strength. It creates shame, and shame kills consistency. You can't hate yourself into greatness. You must train your brain to love the process. Your brain releases dopamine when it expects a reward. So if you only celebrate results, your motivation will always die early. You have to reward the process. Every rep, every page, every small step. Tell your brain, "This is who I am now." Imagine an athlete training for war. He doesn't get excited for the trophy. He gets excited for the battle, for the sweat, the pain, the test. That's what discipline feels like when it's reprogrammed. When you start to crave challenge, resistance becomes fuel. And that's when nothing can stop you. Here's how you do it. Step 1. Visualize the emotion, not the outcome. Before you act, imagine how proud, how powerful, how free you'll feel after. Let that emotion hit you now. Step 2. Break the mountain into stones. If the goal feels overwhelming, your brain shuts down. So make it microscopic. Instead of "I'll write a book," say "I'll write 1 paragraph." Instead of "I'll get fit," say "I'll move for 5 minutes." Once you start, momentum takes over. Step 3. Anchor reward to effort. After completing a hard task, do something you enjoy, but only after the work. This teaches your brain pleasure follows progress. Repeat that loop long enough, and discipline becomes automatic. You stop chasing motivation because you've built identity. You don't try to be disciplined, you simply are disciplined. And once that switch flips, the rest of your life changes. Imagine waking up and no longer fighting yourself. Imagine wanting to do what others avoid. That's not fantasy. That's the power of a reprogrammed mind. So start rewiring today. Fall in love with effort. Fall in love with progress. Fall in love with who you're becoming. Because the old you can't survive in the new reality you're building. If you want the new life, kill the old habits. Don't negotiate with weakness. Don't delay your greatness. Just begin and never stop. Lesson 4. The warrior within. There's a version of you that doesn't quit. That version lives deep inside, silent, waiting. It's the voice you hear when you're exhausted, but still push 1 more rep. When you fail, but refuse to stay down. That voice is your warrior, and discipline is the sword it wields. Every time you act despite fear, you sharpen it. Every time you choose effort over excuses, you forge it in fire. But most people never meet their warrior because they quit before the awakening. The pain you feel when you push past limits, that's the gate to greatness. It's not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be earned. Comfort builds nothing. Challenge builds character. When you understand that, your whole life changes. You stop running from pain and start running through it. Because pain is not punishment. It's proof you're alive, proof you're growing. When your mind screams, "I can't," that's when the transformation begins. Discipline is not about control. It's about freedom. Freedom from weakness. Freedom from regret. Every moment you conquer resistance, you reclaim power from the world that tried to tame you. You were not born to be average. You were born to rise, so stand tall, tighten your grip. Face your challenges with fire in your eyes, because no one is coming to save you, and no one needs to. You are the rescue. And every small act of discipline is proof that the warrior inside you is alive. Now go face your day with that fire. Move with purpose. Breathe with power. You are the storm that changes everything. Lesson 5. The discipline paradox, pain now, freedom forever. Here's the paradox. Discipline feels hard because it demands short-term pain, but it gives long-term peace. Comfort feels good because it gives short-term pleasure, but it causes long-term suffering. Every time you choose comfort, you borrow happiness from tomorrow. Every time you choose discipline, you build strength for life. That's the game. And only the wise play it consciously. When you delay gratification, you break free from the chains of impulse. When you master impulse, you master reality. That's why people who control their habits control their destiny. They understand a truth most ignore. You can't escape sacrifice. You can only choose what to sacrifice for. Sacrifice your comfort now, or sacrifice your potential forever. There is no middle ground. You decide your pain. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One builds you, the other destroys you. So next time it feels hard, smile. Because that pain you feel, it's not punishment. It's transformation. It's your old self dying and your true self awakening. You're not losing ease, you're gaining evolution. So keep walking, keep fighting, keep building. Because the person you're becoming is already watching you, hoping you don't quit this time. And if you could see who you'd become 6 months from now, you'd never doubt this journey again. Stay consistent, stay committed, stay hungry. The final word, discipline, isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's the quiet, unseen work that builds unshakable people. The reps no one watches, the sacrifices no one thanks you for. Those are the moments that define you. You are not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to rise regardless. The difference between the broken and the unstoppable isn't talent, it's consistency. So decide, not tomorrow, not next week, now. You've heard enough, you've waited enough. The time for wishing is over. The time for war is here. Reprogram your mind, command your actions, and build the life that discipline owes you. Because when you master yourself, you master everything. And if this message hit you hard, share it with someone who's ready to stop hiding and start building. Comment below how you'll reprogram your mind starting today. And remember, the world doesn't need another dreamer. It needs another disciplined warrior. Become that warrior. The choice is yours. Be unbreakable.